Kevin McCarthy. He's on with Fox's Sean Duffy, and this is their plan to keep schools safe. I should just tell you that the other thing that people who have kids know to a large part is that a lot of their kids are getting COVID these days. And I know that my daughter just got over it. It was pretty, she was pretty ill, not hospitalized. And of course, we all just hope that all the reports we're starting to see in terms of long COVID, neurological issues, et cetera, won't be something that ends up being a sort of a surprise in a couple of years from now. But nevertheless, here is Kevin McCarthy dealing with his solution for what we just witnessed in Texas.
Ability. So we saw what happened in Las Vegas. But we had been able to pass Richard Hudson-led on Stop the School Violence, where we provided a great deal amount of money so schools could reevaluate that, see where that they could come in. If this school was on lockdown, could the doors have been locked where he couldn't have gotten in? These are items that we'd looked before. And remember, Sean, there are billions of dollars sitting out there after COVID for schools that we should redirect that money to allow the schools to use that to have one central point of interest to protect these kids from a lot of different areas and different items of going forward. But these are things we should be able to look at to be able to solve. And we've really got to be focusing on mental health as well. And that's something Congressman Tony Gonzalez, who represents this district, was already working on prior to this situation, trying to get some mental health down in this community, which even needs it greater today.
Mr. Leader,
what does it mean to get mental health down? Like, I don't want to hear anything from Republicans about mental health anymore if they don't support universal health care, Medicare for all. What does addressing mental health look like for them?
It means not providing funding for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it means doing nothing.
It means talking about it.
But it is fascinating, this whole thing of like, now they're just, the talking point's going to be the one, the one sort of like a door thing, being the one point of entry for these schools, as if this is going to be some type of like solution, or I don't know. Then then the shootings will be, we wait until the kids come out of class and just shoot them as they are pouring out of like the multiple, or maybe just the one door, or maybe we get them as they walk into the. I mean, it's just, it is. It really is, a systemic problem with dealing with the, from the media and to the Democrats. It is such a problem in terms of dealing with of forcing the Republicans to pay a price in this instance, or at the very least. And the price not necessarily now, or even, or dealing with this long term, because it's going to be a long term project, because the Supreme Court is going to be increasingly, they're almost there, but it's just not going to, not going to allow very much, legislation in this point. And they're just going to continue to strike down things that in any way restrict gun use. It's crazy.
And so the silliness of their responses is largely immaterial. I mean, except in the political sense, if Democrats decided to use it. I mean, regulate doors, not guns. That's a pretty good way to show how absurdly unserious the Republican Party is. And just think about these things for a second, right? Say the shooter gets past the one door. Now there's no exit for the students as they're being mowed down. I mean, it's a fire hazard. There's just so many easily things that come to mind.
The idea would be that you have all of these other exits, but only exits. And that, I guess, presumably it's like one entrance, then a bunch of exits, of course, because of fire issues. And I guess you would have guards at those other exits, because, we've seen plenty of examples in the past where the door doesn't shut properly, or maybe somebody, maybe one time somebody who does even the slightest bit of planning decides to put a piece of tape on the door,
bust through it.
Yeah.
Or they bust through the door. I mean, so you have guards on all the exits as well. And then all of a sudden you've just made basically, you make it into a prison. It's just absurd.
I can't believe we're looking at the Uvalde thing. Like, the problem with that school was there was too many entrances to it. Like, what?
Well, how about every day the kids go in one door, and like The Sims, when you could remove the door in real time and trap somebody in there, you just like cement over the wall, and then after the end of the school day, you bulldoze through it, and then they can come out.
It's
just insane.